What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling excellent today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Cancer. Just one of a kind. I just got chills just even thinking about it. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. So the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Jupiter, wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based off our ruler here, the good old Moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, and when she's going void of courses, all of those lunar shenanigans. You know, a Cancer sidebar, I was actually thinking about like when the moon forms aspects and stuff, she moves so fast. And I'm thinking I might start including like aspects with Luna. I'm flirting with that. I gotta do a little research on that Cancer, because she moves like a million miles a minute. But just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never first reading on a situation, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just exceptional energy all around here, Cancer. I know we're going big today, and I mean, why not? Cancer's Jupiter Day. The moon, Jupiter rules over Thursdays. Jupiter's here. What's up, Papa? Just great energy all around it, Cancer. And also, Cancer, the moon's gonna be going void of course. The moon's going void of course at about 3:02 in the afternoon, and that'll be Eastern time. And then she'll be moving from Sagittarius into Capricorn at about 9:54 tonight. So we're looking at about a 6-hour, 52-minute void of course time there, Cancer. Thank you. And with the void of course, Cancer, this is a really great energy for recharging your batteries, going within, just kind of reset. This is almost like our version of like a retrograde in a sense. It's our time to reflect, you know. I was actually just talking with like Gemini and Virgo about that yesterday, because I feel like after the moon, if you count her going void of course, Mercury is going, going retrograde at like 3 times a year. It's a lot. But really, Cancer, if anything, that makes us just like just master meditators in a sense. Stay with me, Cancer. But also, you may notice with this energy, Cancer, that people may be maybe less likely to make decisions during this time. They can still speak though, and you may also notice that your plans may be subject to unexpected changes, so something to keep in mind up there. But it's just a really great energy for just to kind of reset and find yourself again, Cancer. And then with the moon in Sagittarius, since they're still taking charge of the day, this is a very optimistic placement for the moon, so you might be feeling a little more upbeat, Cancer, a little more just kind of seeing on the bright side, seeing the glass half full, which is an excellent place to be, excellent place for manifesting, Cancer. And you may also be feeling inspired, because I tell you what, Sagittarius is a prolific sign, just always coming up with ideas. And you may even be feeling a little more kind of speaking a little more honestly, Cancer. Not that you lie or anything, but just feeling more confident in, like, maybe a little more bold in your speech. So that's something to be aware of as well. But you might even feeling a little bit of wanderlust there. Maybe want to going out, going on a little adventure. Maybe go to that cafe you've been thinking about going to, or maybe going for just a walk in a new place. Maybe hopping on the transit, going to a new stop. Maybe even thinking about booking yourself a flight there, Cancer. However you feel like doing it. But really great energy for just expanding your world. Really, Sagittarius energy is real dope like that. And then we're in the waxing crescent phase. And with this, Cancer, this is, the energies are starting to build up. And this is about building yourself up, trusting your intuition. If your spirit guides are trying to lead you towards this next thing for improvement, follow that, Cancer. See where that leads you. See how that helps you grow. And this is about, too, just building up self-confidence, self-assurance, and just really kind of figuring out how we're going to integrate whatever this plan is into your new, into your routine there, Cancer. And then last few things. these readings that I do. They're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. Then the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that are like watching Cancer, so definitely check them out. Very fantastic group. I think you would really enjoy them. Now let's get into your general energy of the day here, Cancer. Oh, look at how divine you are, Cancer, because you have the first card here, which is the start. Well, I don't know if it's actually the. Well, I get. Never mind, Cancer. You're the star divine. Yeah, Cancer. This is These are celestial energies. So in this deck, they have of course the air, water, fire, earth, and then the celestial. These little star dust thingies. But Cancer, this is a card of inner divine, deities, guidance, clarity, and protection. And I like that, Cancer, because I feel like that when you start connecting with that intuitive side of yourself, really kind of connecting to, your connecting to source, whether that be through higher self, your future self, the angels, oh goodness, the deities, the ancestors, God, however that looks like for you. I feel that brings about a different type of clarity. We get to this place where we start kind of trusting our instincts a lot more, and it takes practice there, Cancer, because I feel like as soon as we get as soon as we're born, it's almost like we're like disconnected from a source in a sense, and it's like trying to with how things are kind of set up in this kind of like the earthly realm. I feel like it does a lot of things to try to keep us as disconnected from source as possible, and make it seem like that this is only energies that are meant for like the select few or things like that, Cancer. But you are divinely guided. We are divinely guided. We all come from the same source, and you are protected. But I feel like, because there are some times, Cancer, I was actually just divinely guided, like maybe a couple weeks ago. Oh no, it was right around the time of the eclipse. I got in a little bit of a devil moment there, and I tell you what, I was divinely guided the whole time. But you do get it. Even when I think about when I wasn't even kind of actively working, towards growth and things, there are like little moments that I reflect on in the past where I'm just like, I'd have these moments where I kind of pause for a second. I remember, like, for example, I'd be at work and I'm just like, what was I doing? And then something would happen, like my hand would just sort of like instinctively just sort of do this. It's just like, right. We were going there. And you just start to see how, because it's different than, it's, how to describe this, Cancer. It's like it's different from like just hearing like a voice in your head. It's still your voice, but there's this undertone that's different. And I'd like, and it translates differently for everyone. Sometimes it comes out maybe through music, or maybe through art, or maybe through cooking, or maybe through woodworking, or maybe through nature, or however this is. And I feel that it really does, because I'm even just seeing how she's got how the planets right here. There's a good old moon there, Cancer. But you know it's one of those things. It's just like, yeah, I'm just thinking of like, as above so below, as within so without, or yeah, with, you know what I mean, Cancer. You start making those connections with those more kind of divine energies, that intuition and things. And Cancer, we're powerful intuitives. You start making that thing, you start seeking the guidance, starts making a lot more sense, because you do always have free will at the end of the day, Cancer. But it's almost just like it's like a parent in the sense. It's just like you can tell your children what to do, but what they do when they're out with the information that you give them is totally up to them. That's like, but let's get some tarot on this, Cancer, and get some details. Oh, okay. Thank you. All right, Cancer. Oh. Oh. Excuse me, Cancer. So you'll see what I'm freaking out in a second, because you have the Five of Swords, the Emperor, and us, Cancer, the Chariot upright, and you got the Empress in reverse here. And Cancer, That's interesting with the Emperor and the Empress being here, because I do feel like that in order to make that connection, Cancer, it is finding that sense of, I'm in chills even just thinking about it. There's finding that sense of balance within yourself. And things in this realm are out of balance right now, and I feel like that the balance is starting to shift, and I feel like a lot of people are starting to make that connection that there is something internally that is not quite right. That could be that something's off, can't quite put your finger on it, but when internally, when we're not in balance, then again, that's how your external world works. And that's where I feel like this shadow work really kind of comes into play here, because I feel that it's all about, I'm just thinking about masculine and feminine energies, yin and yang, light and dark, up and down, on and off. You need these counterparts in order to balance yourself, but it's just like that something here. I feel like it's because sometimes I feel like when you get to talking about, like, spirituality and things like that, the opinions of others, they people kind of look at it in a strange type of way. It's just sort of like a, sort of like a mystical, like, oh, this is like, hoodoo, or just being may even go as far as even saying just like kind of crazy. But it's one of those things that I feel, when it's you making peace with this thing and not worrying about what other people feel about how your journey is going, Cancer, how you connect to source, because I've found that it's just like the more that I've been working on myself, the more that you attract those kind of like people as well. And it's a tough journey there, Cancer, just saying with the how the Chariot's here. And it's one where you're going to, I might get a little bit more with the Empress being here, but I'm even kind of feeling, because we do live in a very kind of masculine heavy type of world where we've always kind of operated in that energy, and now it does feel like the feminine energy is coming in to balance that out again. And that's where, now we're kind of getting more in, because I love this, how this emperor and empress are in this deck, because even though the empress is still has this beauty about her, this is a hard empress. She's not anyone to mess with. But in the emperor too, where he still stands in his confidence and his masculinity, there's this softness that is here too in his authority. There's all these birds that are floating around him. Even this like kind of soft blue hue even adds a little bit of this energy here. I hope this is making sense, Cancer, but it's like when you get those energies in balance, that duality, when that comes into play, I feel like that's when things really, when your manifestation really starts heightening here. And then I even feel like with the Five of Swords, then you can take this energy, you're almost like a kind of like leading with by example, and kind of almost not necessarily changing people's idea, but are kind of opening people's minds up to the idea of different perspectives here with the Five of Swords by going on your unique journey here. But let me get a little bit more with the Empress and get some details. Just kind of clarify her. Alright, so the Empress is clarified by the Four of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups upright, and then you have the Seven of Wands in reverse. And I feel with this energy, Cancer, that it almost feels like that with the Four of Pentacles, that this Empress energy, this abundance, this growth, this intuitive earthly, because the Empress rules over Venus, or she is Venus. She rules over Taurus and Libra, and I'm thinking about that Taurus aspect of side of her that's really connected with the earth. And I feel like that there's something, it's like this Empress energy has been kind of locked away in the sense. We've just always been kind of taught to just kind of be on and just kind of go and, just have to tough it out, just always being the Emperor energy. And that's exhausting, even for an Emperor, to be just operating like that all the time. It's, but it's the same goes with like the Empress. We can't be in that sort of passive type of energy all the time. Again, it's that balance, that yin and that yang that's going through there. But I feel like that maybe there's a side in either maybe in you, Cancer, and we all have this imbalance that we're trying to work on and keep those things in equilibrium. But wherever this thing is being locked off in a sense, it's it feels like with this Knight of Cups being here, that there's a need to show a love for both sides of them, and to show how both get you all just, I mean, just keep you in this, just operating again, and just like, because I'm picturing with the Chariot, you know how the Chariot in like other cards has like this light animal and this dark animal that's leading the Chariot. And I feel like it's developing a love for both and not criticizing either side of them. They both come into play. They both are needed in order to achieve that balance, just like we need all four of the elements. If you're missing earth, there's no foundation. You're missing water, there's no feeling, no intuition. You miss fire, there's no passion, no drive. You're missing air, there's no thought, no, it all comes into play here. And I like this, Cancer. It's very, is, you know, Seven of Wands too, and then we're going to move on from this. But just thinking with the Five of Swords as well, there again, how there may be opinions. Some people may have their opinions about how you go about this growth. They may see it as, maybe being like kind of hippie or whatever that may be. But let them think it. It's just like I tell you at the beginning. You let them take what resonates with them and leave the rest with you. And you will attract the soul tribe, the people around you who does resonate. And then when they're ready to go about their journey and have more, more questions about that, connecting to the planets, to the source, whatever that is, looking for balance, then it'll just come naturally. There, something will unlock there, Cancer. I like that. Very, very deep, Cancer. I like this deck. Really get you thinking. Love that cherry popping up here. Look at you, Cancer, showing up for yourself in a strong way. Let's get some more on this. All right, Cancer. So you have the yes. So interesting. So you have the Two of Cups and the Page of Swords in reverse, and then you have the Page of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, and then the Judgment card here, Cancer. And with the Two of Cups, I feel like this card for me is almost very similar to the Lovers in a sense. Just like that connection. I feel like this is the conversation that's kind of happening between like you and Source, and how we can get those energies back into balance. But I feel like for some that maybe there is this energy just with the Page of Swords. He's a very active thinker, and I feel that maybe it's just like there's so many ideas as far as about how to achieve spirituality, what's the right and wrong way, and what all this stuff is, Cancer. And I feel it's one of those things that you don't need to look outside of yourself to find any answers. Everything is all within, but it's sitting with those fears, those insecurities, putting in that shadow work. But it feels that maybe for some, again, like we're just kind of maybe sort of stressed out as far as like what's the best way, who resonates with you. And it's one of those things you just ask yourself there, Cancer. There's some people that I happen to like when I'm looking for, different information and things. It's just like, again, you take what really resonates with you, and it may not resonate with you for the long haul. You might just get a little bit what you need out of there, and then you've gotten all you can out of that. But it's just like because like I would never force or tell you to take what I say as maxim or anything. It's just like, again, does this speak to you or not? And then that's where I feel like the Page of Pentacles kind of comes in, because a lot of youthful energy coming through here with the pages. And it's just like the Page of Pentacles, I just feel like it's where maybe at this point it's just like, where do you start? And Cancer, I will say, if you do come across like while you're going on this journey that someone says like, oh, they have just the answers for everything, that they have this, that there's no other blah 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 whatever, be mindful of that, because we all have unique experiences. It's not to say that what they're that what they're saying isn't something grand, but there's so many perspectives out there that is. And I feel and I feel that it's one thing that with this Judgment card being here, I feel like because this is Pluto energy, and this is really kind of giving me this sense of like, because Pluto can deal with power in a sense, and I feel like it's like letting no one take your power from you and try to tell you that you know about your guides and things. Again, it's just like higher self just sort of puts these energies in front of you as you start to grow. And it's really interesting how it happens, when it starts happening, Cancer. And you just go through this almost a sense of rebirth just kind of naturally here. And I feel like it's giving me kind of like moon card energy, this little pocket here of just like, kind of journeying into the unknown, just following the guidance of the moon in a sense, and trusting that you will find your way through the darkness and get to that sunlight at the end of it, get to the light. And yeah, I get it, Cancer, with this Nine of Swords. It can be something that is a little, like, it's just a little unnerving, a little frightening, like maybe even like a little stressful. It's just like you feel like you got to do this all the time, that all the time, all this, like it can be a lot, but it's just like you take on as much as it makes sense for you, Cancer, and then kind of focus on one thing. Start with one idea, and then kind of let that expand to another, and then to another, and then to another, and then you go in at like a healthy trot, I feel, on this chariot, than just like a mad dash. You know what I mean? Because it is very exciting too, Cancer. I feel like when you really start making that connection, communing with your spirits and things. But yeah, just I feel like, try not to let this take it out, and just pick a place and go from it. Mine started with like, interest in like astrology and things, and then it branched to tarot, and it really just sort of snowballs there, Cancer. So just something to think about. All right, Cancer, let's get some tea. Yeah, let's get some advice from Jupiter. Thank you. All right, Cancer. Ooh, a lot of swords here. No, sorry, Cancer. So you have the two of swords, the three of swords, and then the King of Cups in reverse, and then you have the Ace of Swords upright here, Cancer. And let's switch back over. Because I will say too, Cancer, connecting with this energy here, when you start really kind of connecting with your guides and things, it's there are going to be some things that will catch you off guard with the King of Cups being in reverse. It's not. It really, as lovely as it would just be, it's just like, oh my goodness, I'm enlightened. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it, Cancer? There is healing work that needs to be done first. There's that, again, establishing that balance. That's when you talk about like doing that shadow work and inner child healing and all of the opinions that the thoughts and ideas that have been almost kind of just put upon you, Cancer, and the choices that may at first been sort of taken away from you, and then it's like coming back and trying to restore that sense of balance to find what's true, what's not, that sense of clarity with the Ace of Swords being here. But the divine truth does come. The more that you sit with yourself, the more that you learn about your different, maybe the different types of traumas or different different triggers, or just anything that has, or just even just certain beliefs and things that that we start to question. And again, Cancer, it is a lot, and it's something that I will say, don't try to force this. Just tackle it as it makes sense. I had a little moment there. This was maybe a few months back, where I had this thing with anger, where it wasn't that I'm not natural. Well, I don't want to say that. Like, I didn't have a lot of experience with anger. Let's say that it was something that I really kept repressed, and would come out in just random pockets. But when I was really frustrated, when it would come out, it's just like, stay calm, stay calm, stay calm, F, and then just like lose it. But then I had a moment where I was like kind of by myself, and I just started pacing, and I started the day, and I was kind of happy, and then it just gradually just got more and more upset and more upset and more upset. But it was thinking about some childhood stuff, and then I gave that some space, and then really felt it, and then ended up bawling on the floor. It was a hot mess, but it was cathartic too. It was what was needed. But it's not. Sometimes it's not just, again, all pretty and stuff. Sometimes it's messy, and then it's looking at yourself even in that very vulnerable state with the same level of compassion that you would look at yourself when you're on top of the world there, Cancer. Because they're all, even Empress has great days, Emperor has not so great days. It literally depends. But eventually those two get on the same page, and then they're operating efficiently. They know when to take charge and to manifest abundance and things. And like, well, I meant to put the Emperor there first, but you know what I mean, Cancer. It's hmm. It's growth, Cancer. But you are, just know that, wrapping this up, you are divinely guided, you are divinely protected, and it all makes sense. You have all the angels and the spirits, and however, again, you connect to Source, are all on your side. They're, Cancer, rooting you on, wanting you to keep that chariot moving and reach your highest vibration. I like that, Cancer. I think I'm going to leave that there. So, if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this, Cancer, because this is a journey that we all are going on, trying to find that sense of balance, trying to connect with our higher selves, connect to Source. And it's a journey. It's a journey, but it's one that's worthwhile when you really learn to trust that inner divine energy that you have. And then subscribe there, you Chariot. If you haven't already, hit that bell button, get notified on all these videos each day. And then last little bit here, Cancer, one great way to kind of connect with yourself, check your chart, Cancer. I got a couple apps I listed down below that I love using. But check your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus for your readings. And then check your rest of your chart, your Mercury, your Jupiter, your Mars, Saturn. Check all that stuff, Cancer. Then come on over to my other channel, Alchemist State. I do weekly videos there, monthly ones, yearly ones, and it's a good old time. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here so I can get you out of here, Cancer. And you got the Ten of Cups in reverse here, Cancer. And sometimes it does run deep like that. Sometimes this finding this inner divine, these connecting with these deities, this guidance and stuff. Sometimes it starts, the root of the cause comes from our ancestors, from our family, from our home, and that's, I feel like, always kind of a tough place for that to kind of process from, because that's meant to, especially I feel like for Cancerians, being that we are associated with the home, and the home is meant to be that safe space where you find that, Cancer, where you find that sense of peace. And it can be hard to know that sometimes that maybe that was the source of how you operate, and the things that some of the more things that you maybe don't like about yourself, or that, let's not say that you don't like about yourself, that you haven't come to love about yourself, Cancer, that we haven't shown that compassion for yet, but and given that space too. But I feel there is, and I know how this sounds, Cancer, but I feel like there is, when we can learn to forgive that past, and let us be where the trend changes, you know what I mean, and set a new precedent for the future, for our, for progeny, and for the people that if we all start doing that work, we can again start shifting things where the energies are in balance, as opposed to things being just all wonky here, no matter which way the emperor or the empress is facing, So I like that, Cancer. Oh, let me get your. I was about to close it. Let me get your oracle card here, so I can get you out of here. That was a. I tell you this. Oh, thank you. I like that, Cancer. So you have the Tulsi card, which is the card of wealth. And this is ruled by Mercury and Jupiter. And I like this. This is the 19th card. And the 19th card in the tarot is the Sun. So we were talking about that Sun energy earlier, Cancer. But there is a lot of wealth that I do feel like comes from connecting to Source. There's a lot of guidance and a lot of beauty that can come from that too. I love that there's a little peacock in this picture. Sidebar, Cancer. I used to live in this one house, and there was this peacock Carl that always used to greet us. Oh, it's fantastic. But and I feel like too, considering that the Empress was in reverse here, I do feel like the more that you do connect with those inner spirits and guides and your intuition, the more abundance and wealth that you do see, Cancer, and it puts you in this more kind of grateful standpoint, and just operating at your highest vibration there. But all right, Cancer. Now I'll leave it there. So you stay safe out there, Cancer. Learning about yourself, connecting with the divine, doing some meditation, maybe getting outside in nature, however that's looking, Cancer. But there's clarity that comes with that. Absolutely. And you keep eyes on the moon, Cancer. Because we are, Moon's always got your back there, Cancer. She's yes, I feel like a special one. I mean, they're all special, but of course, but it's nice to have the moon on your side there. And I will catch you on the next one tomorrow.